Hey, what's up everyone? It's Americana Ninja here, and this is the source of Halo VR information. In my description, I have links to my Halo VR tutorials and the in-depth guide by Horizon, a link to the Flat2VR Discord, and I'll have text tutorials and links in my pinned comment as well. Please leave a like, drop a comment, and hit subscribe as it helps support me and I appreciate it very, very much. Let's get into it. By the end of this video, you'll have Halo VR installed with around 60 plus modded levels, spanning full campaigns, single level stories, and firefight missions, filled with new weapons, models, environments, HUDs, effects, and experiences. This video combines all the knowledge from my previous tutorials and more. It's meant to be a complete guide in one video to help anyone who is starting from the very beginning. If you have already followed all my video tutorials up to SPV2, then you already have all the mods in this video. Please stick around however, because I'll also have information on major updates, experimental builds, multiplayer, common problems, VR settings, and other important information at the end of this video, so make sure you don't miss it. Video chapters are available for easy viewing. There will also be a list of credits at the end of this video to thank anyone who has contributed to Halo and creating these amazing mods over the years. Spartans one and all who have made a path for future generations to reclaim and enjoy this beloved game. Now let's begin this great journey. We will prepare everything on our desktop for downloading and installation first. We will create two new folders on our desktop and name them Backups and Downloads. Inside Downloads, create 5 folders and name them as I have on screen: Extra Campaigns, Halo VR Mods, Hotkey Maps, More Creations, Quality of Life. You'll place the Universal UI mod alongside these folders inside of Downloads. Universal UI will be the last thing we install in this tutorial. Now inside the Extra Campaigns folder, create a new folder and name it SPV1. We now have our Downloads folder ready for file organization. The Backups folder will be used as we go along to help clean up. You will need to download and place the files into their respective folders. All download links will be in my pinned comment below, and possibly its replies, depending on max character limit. The downloads are listed categorized in groups by folder placement. The easiest way is to download a group of files according to folder placement and move them all at once into the group's corresponding folder. Do this folder by folder to help combat file confusion. It's important that you read the notes I attached to some files in my pinned comment for important information regarding them. Information on the Halo game itself can be found in the educational guide for educational purposes in the description below. You will need an installed version of the Gearbox Halo PC version for this guide. This VR mod will not work with the Master Chief Collection. Do not install the game to any program folders. If you are updating with the patch and it says one of several errors, just ignore and continue with the guide. I recommend installing Halo to your desktop. I'll have my Halo folder placed on my desktop during this guide. Uncheck Launch Halo at the end of the installation. Important information regarding extraction of files and folders. Extract to here will dump files into the same folder as the compressed file. Extract to folder name will create an uncompressed folder with the files inside of it. I will use that terminology when explaining steps. I use 7-zip to extract files, but you can use WinRAR and other programs as well, as far as I understand it. So let's continue. Now open your Halo game folder and inside create a new folder named Mods. Now open Mods. Inside, create 7 folders named SPV1, SPV2, Halo Refined, Movement Evolved, Marine Campaign, Halo4+HD Textures, Multiplayer, OG Backup Files. Open OG Backup Files and inside of it, create 3 folders named OG Campaign, OG Multiplayer, and OG Bitmaps and Sounds. Note: you can add more later as you expand in the future. Multiplayer is currently unused in this guide, but we'll create it now for future mods. I'll talk about the state of multiplayer after the tutorial, and future mods that might be available. Now go back inside your Halo folder and open the Maps folder by right-clicking it and opening a new window. Now reopen the Mods folder and then OG backup files so we have both side by side. You want to copy and paste the campaign, multiplayer, and bitmaps plus sounds.map files to their respective folders inside OG backup files. Do not copy UI.map. Copy and paste the campaign files plus bitmaps and sounds into OG campaign. The campaign files are labeled A10, A30, A50, B30, B40, C10, C20, C40, D20, D40. The multiplayer maps are the rest and are labeled with the actual map names. It's quicker to select all files than Control left click to deselect the campaign maps and UI.map. Copy and paste the multiplayer maps plus bitmaps and sounds into 6 folders: OG Multiplayer, Movement Evolved, Marine Campaign, SPV1, SPV2, and Halo4+HD Textures. Now copy and paste bitmaps and sounds into OG bitmaps and sounds. Note: the refined bitmaps and sounds.map files can interfere with only a few mods, so this is why we are placing the OG files into these other campaigns. I'll have more information about the bitmaps and sounds.map files after the tutorial, so stick around to find out more. Note: you can now create a backup of this base Halo folder to start over with if you make a mistake. Copy and paste it into backups. We can now start installing the quality of life mods. Open Halo on the left of your screen and open Downloads on the right so they are side by side. We will have these windows side by side the majority of our time installing. Now open the Quality of Life folder in Downloads. Extract Chimera to folder name and then move fonts, chimera.ini, and strings.dll into your Halo folder. Overwrite and replace any conflicts. Now boot game into flat screen. You can change video settings and create a profile and then exit game. This helps generate important files. Now open a third file window and navigate to the following area: local disk, users, your name, documents, my games, Halo, Chimera. Inside this Chimera folder, create a new text file and name it Preferences. Open Preferences text file and type in chimera_model_detail, add a space, then 8. Save and close the text file. Now right-click the text file and select Properties. Under the General tab, next to Location, highlight and copy the file path. You can now close the third window. In your Halo folder, open chimera.ini, either by double-clicking it or with Notepad. Note: you can find keywords with Ctrl+F. If a keyword isn't found, you can change the direction of search. I'll be using Ctrl+F in my video to quickly find the settings we want to change. Hit Ctrl+F and search for Enable Overriding Chimera's Fonts. Hit Enter to find it. If it's not found, change direction. When you find it, change its value from 1 to 0. Next, search for :exec equals. Delete the semicolon at the beginning. Now paste your preferences.txt file path that we copied earlier after the equals sign, overriding any default text, and type preferences.txt at the end of it. It will now read as exec equals c\users\your name \documents \mygames \halo \chimera \preferences.txt. Note: your local disk could have a different letter than C. Now search for semicolon enable underscore map underscore memory underscore buffer equals 1. Delete the semicolon that's before enable map memory buffer. You can now save and exit chimera.ini. We are now done with Chimera. Let's move on. Inside Downloads, inside the Quality of Life folder, extract DSOAL+HRTF to folder name. Open the newly extracted folder and move all files inside Win64 to your Halo folder. Overwrite and replace any conflicts. Now inside your Halo folder, open halocevr.ini. I'll have a copy and paste next to the download in my pinned comments. Copy and paste those settings into halocevr.ini, overriding all text inside. You can now save and exit halocevr.ini. We are now finished with DSOAL. Inside your Halo folder, rename your halo.exe to haloog.exe. Now, inside Downloads, inside the Quality of Life folder, extract LAA Fix to folder name. Open the newly extracted folder, open Retail, and move the halo.exe inside of it to your Halo folder. Note: some people prefer to have the .exe running in administrator mode. You can do this by doing the following. Right-click the halo.exe provided by the LAA Fix inside your Halo folder, and then click on Properties. Under the Compatibility tab, make sure Run this program as an administrator is checked. Hit Apply and Exit. Now create a desktop shortcut for halo.exe by right-clicking it and selecting Send to Desktop as shortcut. You can delete the leftover extracted files, leaving only the compressed and .7-zip versions inside. Then move the Quality of Life folder and Downloads to Backups. We are now done installing the Quality of Life mods. Now boot Halo, and in the lower left of the corner, confirm that preferences.txt is working. Then exit the game. We are now ready to install the VR mod itself. We'll have both windows open, Halo to the left and Downloads to the right. Inside Downloads, open Halo VR Mods folder. Extract halocevr 1.2.0 to folder name, and then open the newly extracted folder, and move all the files into your Halo folder. Overwrite and replace any conflicts. You can delete any leftover extracted files, leaving only the compressed and .7-zip files inside. You can now move the Halo VR Mods folder inside Downloads into Backups. Note: before doing this next step, you need to turn off NVIDIA/GeForce overlay before starting Halo VR. If you have it enabled, then the game will crash. You can find it in your NVIDIA app in Settings under Overlay. It's recommended you turn off all overlays, Steam, Xbox, and NVIDIA before starting Halo VR. We will now be booting the game into VR and then exiting to generate important files. I'll go over some troubleshooting about starting the game, and I'll be starting it while in VR to show how to do it the way I do it. But you can also start it on your flat monitor with your physical mouse while in VR. I'll be using a Quest 2 wirelessly with Virtual Desktop and Steam VR. The controls I'm using might be different for you depending on the headset and applications you are using. That is okay, however, because all you will be basically doing is starting Steam VR, then double-clicking halo.exe to start Halo VR. If running in administrator mode, after double-clicking halo.exe, click Yes on the administrator prompt. Note: while I'm in Virtual Desktop, you can pause on my settings so you can see them if you're curious. Some people experience better performance with SSW turned off. Experiment to find what works for you. I'll start on my settings and then continue. Okay, so we're here at the main menu. I'm recording natively inside my Quest 2. I'm going to start Virtual Desktop. Alright, now we're here in my virtual apartment. Check it out. Pretty sweet. I love it. So, I'm going to show you my settings real fast. You can pause and look if you'd like, and yeah, just pause and look. Okay, so we're here in Virtual Desktop. You press the menu button on the left controller to bring up this menu, and you can hit Launch Steam VR. I'll start Steam VR for you. Hit the menu button again to close that. Now that we're loaded into Steam VR, I'm going to push left menu again. And inside the Steam VR menu, I'm going to click Desktop. Then I'm going to click Multitasking View. Now I have my VR view on, and that's why, let me show you that. My VR view is this. That's so I can record. Normally when I record, I also close out this little window too, so that doesn't get captured in the footage. Now, so if I switch over to Virtual Desktop with double tapping the menu button on the left controller, double tap it, you'll see my VR view on my virtual monitor as well. So double tap the menu button on the left controller to switch back and forth between Steam VR and Virtual Desktop. So in Virtual Desktop, what you want to do is hit Multitasking View to bring up this window. Double click the menu button to jump back to Virtual Desktop. In here, you can click any of these folders, or on your taskbar, you can click the folder icon and it'll just pop up a folder. So go to Desktop, double click, and then from there you can activate your shortcut with a double click. It'll pop up with the administrator prompt. Click Yes. And there we go. Halo started up. So when I go to record again, I close out this window. Now, since I closed out that window, I'll show you something. Double click the menu button on the left controller to jump back to Steam VR. Okay, we're in the menu. Now, I can interact. If you're in the main menu and you cannot interact, you can't hear any sound, and you can't interact with anything, all you simply do is you go back to your VD desktop, your virtual desktop, and what you do here is you click the Halo window. You just click it once just to make sure it's the active window. This is what it looks like if it's not clicked. You'll hear the music stop. And when you're in the menu, you cannot click anything. So, jump back to your virtual desktop and make sure Halo is the active window. So, that's how you move around the menus. You double click your menu button on your left controller to jump between virtual desktop and Steam VR. And you make sure that your Halo window is your main active window so you can interact with the menu. Now that we're in here, we're going to exit out and we're going to continue with the tutorial. I'll go over some basic setting changes that will enhance your experience. I'll have more info after the tutorial on extra settings, controller bindings, and how to fix the warp issue when tilting your head if you are experiencing it. Note, all settings are subject to personal taste, but these are the most recommended. Experiment with values to adjust accordingly. Inside your Halo folder, open the VR folder. Inside of the VR folder, double-click Config.txt. We will find the following lines and change them to the following. UI overlay scale equals 14. This will make the in-game HUD feel better and more natural. Snap turn equals false. This will enable smooth turning. Right hand melee swing speed equals 3.5. Left hand melee swing speed equals 3.5. This will stop your melee from activating unintentionally when moving your arms fast. Scope scale equals 0.1. This will make using the scope more enjoyable and easier to use. Unzoomed weapon smoothing amount equals 0.2. This will help smooth out aiming. Between 0.1 and 0.2 is recommended. Showroom center equals false. This will remove the blue circle at your feet showing room center, allowing for more immersion. There are other settings like two-handed grip distance, show crosshairs, and enable holsters. There is also a left-handed mode. I'm not, so I don't use it, but experimenting between this setting and left-handed controller bindings is the way to go. When you are finished, save and exit Config.txt. We are now ready to start installing the last of the mods. We will be installing in this order: hotkeys, more creations, extra campaigns, and lastly, universal UI, which we will add to multiple folders. We are almost finished. Be sure to watch till the end so you don't miss a thing. I'll now show you how to add and play multiple modded maps through Chimera's hotkeys. There are a total of 64 hotkey slots available, with 29 extra if you delete the default hotkeys, for a total of 93 hotkeys for maps. There are a number of different commands you can use with hotkeys, like skipping cutscenes, so if you want to keep those commands, just leave them in the Chimera settings. We'll be adding in 13 maps in this tutorial. If you want to add in more maps, just simply follow this guide to add in extra maps. You can find maps and more on moddb.com, haloce3.com, and halomaps.org. Now, inside Downloads, open the Hotkey Maps folder and select all compressed files and extract all to here. At the prompt, select Yes to all. When it's done, sort by type. Now inside your Halo folder, open up Chimera.ini settings and scroll down to your hotkeys. Place the Chimera text window to the left so you can see inside your download folder. Now to enable hotkeys, find the line near the top of the hotkeys list labeled "enabled equals 1" and delete the semicolon. It will now read as enabled equals 1. You can use any of the hotkeys, but I'll be using the Control plus numpad and Control Alt Shift plus numpad hotkeys for mine. Note: the ODST campaign and Truth Island are multiple levels, so I'll place them in order so I can easily switch to the next level. I'll place those as the Control Alt Shift numpad hotkeys and the single levels hotkey to Control numpad. You can hit these while in VR to instantly load the level. You have to use your physical keyboard, but it's extremely easy. So we are ready to set up the hotkeys. I'll explain how the commands are structured and then how I quickly add them in myself. The commands will read map_name space, then name of map. Do not put a space between equals and map_name. So I'll type map_name with a space at the end, and then copy and paste it to each line. I'll do this to all my slots so you can see how quick it is to do. I just hit Ctrl V and then down arrow. Repeat this process to quickly move down the list. I'm doing this to all my available hotkeys, so when I add another map, I'll only need to type in its file name. Now that you have map_name space entered into your hotkey slots, simply type the map name of each map next to them. You can see that I'm simply typing the names of the files in the Hotkey Maps folder. When you are done, save and close Chimera.ini. Now just move all .map files in your Hotkey Maps folder into the Maps folder inside your Halo folder. You are now set up to play these maps via hotkey. Again, if you want to add more maps, just follow these steps to easily add them in the future. You can now delete all the leftover extracted files in Hotkey Maps, leaving only the original compressed folders inside. We'll now install the files inside More Creations. Open More Creations and select All Files and extract to here. Select Yes to all if there's a prompt. Sort by type, then select and move all .map files over to your Maps folder inside Halo. Overwrite and replace any conflicts. Now double-click and open the extracted Maps folder inside More Creations. Inside Maps, select all .map files and move them into your Maps folder inside Halo. Overwrite and replace any conflicts. You can now delete any leftover extracted files inside More Creations. Do not delete the map.7 zip or compressed folders. Now let's move on to extra campaigns. Open the Mods folder inside your Halo folder. Leave this window on the left and your Downloads window to the right. We'll be installing each campaign one by one to their corresponding folders. Let's start with SPV1. Open SPV1 inside the Downloads folder, and inside select all compressed folders and extract to here. Select Yes to all if there's a prompt. Now sort by type, and then move all .map files to the SPV1 folder inside Mods. Delete any leftover extracted files from SPV1 inside Downloads, leaving the original compressed folders alone. Let's install Movement Evolved. Select the compressed Frontways Larry Movement Evolved and extract it to folder name. I will quickly explain this mod and then continue installing. Frontways Larry has provided us with several different variations of this mod, so you can play it in multiple ways. This includes sprinting, wall climbing, tweaked weapons, added models, and controlling the Warthog turret while driving, plus more. I'll be playing the complete version plus first-person Warthogs with the optional textures and alternate ending. You can create more folders inside your Halo Mods folder and create all the variations of Movement Evolved you want to play. There are also files in each folder for no flame shotgun levels. I'll show how to create two variations of Movement Evolved in this tutorial. All the files we are moving, we'll be using copy and paste instead. So let's begin creating the first variation. Open the newly extracted folder. I'll open the Complete plus FPV Warthogs, which is the second folder. Sort by type and select all .map files excluding the C20 no flame and D20 no flame. Now copy and paste the files into Movement Evolved. Overwrite and replace any conflicts. Now I'll add the alternate ending by opening the first folder inside Frontways Larry Movement Evolved. Open Optional Ending. Now copy and paste D40.map into Movement Evolved. Overwrite and replace any conflicts. Now I'll add the optional textures. Open the optional texture pack inside Frontways Larry Movement Evolved. Copy and paste bitmaps.map into Movement Evolved. Overwrite and replace all conflicts. Now I'll create one more variation campaign. I'll be creating a variation with the normal ending, no FPV Warthogs, no optional textures, and no flame shotguns. Inside your Halo Mods, create a new folder and rename it to MEC Variation. Now open the first folder inside Frontways Larry Movement Evolved and sort by type. Delete C20 and D20.map files inside of it, and then rename C20 no flame and D20 no flame to C20 and D20 respectively. Copy and paste all .map files into your variation folder. Overwrite and replace all conflicts. Now go to OG Bitmaps and Sounds inside OG Backup Files, and copy and paste Bitmaps and Sounds.map files into MEC Variation. Overwrite and replace any conflicts. You can create many variations with these steps. You can now delete the extracted Frontways Larry folder from your Downloads folder. Let's move on to the next campaign. Select the compressed Halo4+HD Textures and extract to here. Open the newly extracted folder and sort by type. Select all .rar files and extract to here. Now select all .map files and move them to Halo4+HD Textures inside your Halo Mods folder. You can now delete the extracted Halo4+HD folder inside your Downloads folder. Now let's install Marine Campaign. Select the compressed HaloCE Marine campaign and extract to here. Open the newly extracted folder and then open Campaign Maps. Inside, select all .map files excluding UI.map and move them to Marine Campaign inside your Halo Mods folder. Overwrite and replace any conflicts. There is a multiplayer map you can add as well. Simply move it to the Marine Campaign if you want to play it. You can now delete the extracted HaloCE Marine Campaign folder from your Downloads folder. Let's install Halo Refined. Select the Halo Refined retail.7zip file and extract to folder name. Open the newly extracted folder and then sort by type. Select all .map files, both campaign and multiplayer, excluding only the UI.map. Move them to Halo Refined folder inside your Halo Mods folder. Overwrite and replace any conflicts. You can now delete the extracted Halo Refined retail folder from Downloads. Let's install SPV2. Select SPV2 official beta.rar and extract a folder name. Open the newly extracted folder. Select all .map files and move them to SPV2 inside your Halo Mods folder. You can now delete the extracted SPV2 official beta folder from the Downloads folder. You can now move extra campaigns, hotkey maps, and more creations into backups. We now have all our extra campaigns ready to play. I'll quickly explain how to load a campaign and then we'll move on to the final step of this guide. If you want to switch campaigns, simply open the campaign folder you want to play and then copy and paste the .map files into your Halo Maps folder. Overwrite and replace all conflicts. This way, you can easily switch campaigns with a quick copy and paste from your campaign storage folders. You can even do this while in VR without ever leaving your headset. These campaigns are played by selecting Classic Campaign in the Universal UI main menu. Here's what that looks like in real time. Note, the footage used was recorded natively in my Quest 2. If the footage goes blurry, that is why. The game looks amazing in the headset and my OBS recordings are much cleaner. I had to record natively to capture virtual desktop footage. Okay, I'm going to show you in real time from virtual desktop how I can easily change campaign files. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up this Halo folder just to have it open. And then I am going to start Steam VR. I'm going to right click it by pressing B on my right controller and then click Steam VR. Okay, as Steam VR is loading, whenever it loads up, we're going to press the menu button again on the left controller. This brings up the Steam VR menu. Now, click Desktop, and then we already have this folder open right here. So, in the Steam VR menu, we can go ahead and start Halo. So we'll double click the halo.exe. Alright, you hear it start up. Normally I record with OBS, so I will close this out. And if I do that, you'll hear Halo cancel out. So what I do is I click Multitasking View. And then I am going to click my folder. And then I double click my menu button on the left controller. This jumps me to Virtual Desktop. Here in Virtual Desktop, I'm going to click this off. And now, I'm going to click my Halo window. I'm going to bring that up. You hear the music start back up? Very good. Go back to Steam VR by double-clicking the menu button again on your left controller. Double-click it. There we go. Return to game. Here we are. We're at the main menu of Universal Halo VR Compact. Has all the halos around and all the campaigns. Very cool. So any campaign, extra campaigns, they're selected by hitting campaign and then classic campaign. So this is where you'll play them. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start a new campaign. I'm gonna do Truth and Reconciliation. I'm playing Halo Refined, so on this map you can see the Jackal shields take damage, and so it's just a good example of me playing Refined. I'm just gonna start off on easy.
The enemy has captured Captain Keyes and are holding him aboard one of their cruisers, the Truth and Reconciliation. The ship is currently holding position approximately 300 meters above the other end of this plateau.
So how do we get inside the ship if it's in the air? The Corps issued me a rifle, not wings.
There's a gravity lift that ferries troops and supplies between the ship and the surface. That's our ticket in.
Once we get inside the ship, I should be able to lock on to the tracking signal from Captain Keyes' neural implants.
Alright, now that we're here, I'm just gonna shoot out some enemies
Stick to the higher ground
switch
right.
the campaign out.
We should be able to recon the Covenant position without being spotted. I've detected Covenant stationary guns near the next pass. I recommend using your sniper rifle to take out the gunners while I call for Marine support.
We're gonna grab this plasma pistol and shoot out a Jackal shield so we can see it happen in real time. Where are you at? Yeah, there it is. That's Refined working.
Let him have it!
Alright, so now we had our fill.
Alert! A Covenant is making a run for that stationary gun. Take him out!
So this is how quick and easy it is in VR. We're playing the Halo Refined campaign. We're just gonna exit out. We're just gonna quit. And we're just gonna quit. And we're going back to our Steam VR home. Very good. Now open up your menu with the left controller. Open up desktop. Now in here, just go double click, go to your mods. Now I want to play the Halo 4 and HD. So we're going to hold down right trigger and select all of those. In Steam VR, right click is the right thumbstick clicking in. It acts a little bit weird sometimes, but it will do it. So here it pops up. Click copy, go over, go back, go to your maps, click it once to select it, then click in right click, which again, Steam VR is right thumbstick getting clicked in. Virtual desktop, it's B, but you right click it, easy, and then accidentally hit copy because I got shaky hands. That's okay, because this is quick. This is how quick this is. You just copy it, copy, go to maps, right click it, and paste. Make sure you don't hit copy accidentally. Replace the files. Easy peasy. Now we're going to jump back into Halo. We're going to start the EXE again. And again, any of these campaign files that you load up, you access them by clicking campaign, then classic campaign. We'll go to Halo for this one. And go to easy.
We're coming in too fast! Damn! Air brake failure! They flew too early!
Oh no!
I'm losing her!
Grayson, look at my hands! Oh, so fuzzy.
Chief? Chief, can you hear me?
I'm trying. Oh.
At last.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Are you all right?
Look
can you
at
move?
all of them.
The others. The impact.
Look at this.
There's nothing we can do.
Beautiful. And now we're in another campaign. Easy peasy. Look at them skies. Beautiful. But now we're tired of it and we want to play another campaign. So we're going to exit out.
I detected multiple Covenant.
We're going to quit. And I'm going to do this again in real time just so you can see how fast it is. Open up the menu. Go to mods. Double click. I want to play Movement Evolved. So I'm going to select all this. I'm gonna go up here and I'm gonna hit copy, because that's a little bit easier than right clicking. Then I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna hit maps. I'm gonna right click it, and I'm gonna hit paste. Replace the files. Okay, load the game back up. Close the menu. Again, campaign, classic campaign. We'll go new campaign and we'll go back to Halo. Very good. Which one did I pick again? It's movement evolved, right? I did it so quick.
Chief? Chief, can you hear me?
I can kind of hear you.
At last.
Oh yeah, it's movement
right?
evolved. Check this out.
The others.
Oh, I can move. I can move all right.
There's nothing.
Look how I can move.
Warning.
Oh, I can move so good.
Multiple Covenant dropships on approach.
Yeah.
I recommend moving
That's
into
how
those
quick
hills.
you can switch the campaigns.
Lucky, the Covenant will believe
you
that
can do it
everyone
while
aboard
in
this
VR,
lifeboat died in the crash.
and you can do it extremely
Alert,
quickly.
Covenant dropship inbound. They must be looking for survivors. I recommend immediate evasion.
They must be looking for you to give me a chance to speak, Cortana. I have to speak over you. It's not fair. It's not fair. It's fine. Y'all get the point. So yeah, there you go. That's how it's done. Have fun.
Alert! Covenant dropship has detected us. Here they come.
Can't catch me. Can't catch me. We will now move on to the final step. Installing Universal UI. Select the compressed Universal UI folder inside Downloads and extract to here. Now copy and paste the UI.map into all the campaigns inside your Halo mods folder. Overwrite and replace any conflicts. Note, if you add another campaign in the future, make sure to copy and paste the UI.map from inside any campaign to the new one. Now copy and paste UI.map into your maps folder inside Halo. Overwrite and replace any conflicts. You can now delete any leftover extracted files inside your downloads folder and place the compressed Universal UI folder into backups. Now rename your Halo game folder to Halo VR Universal Compact. Congratulations on completing this great journey. The game has now been indexed and is ready to activate Reclaimer, but there's still a wealth of information left to cover. I'll now go over a flood of important topics. This is a cool mod by 97 Saunders J that allows for more immersion with the ability to swap weapons between your hands. This is a forked version of Living Phrase mod and will not have the 1.2.0 features. It could be updated by the time this video releases, however, or merged into Living Phrase VR mod. I'll have videos on any future updates. Note, this replaces your current VR mod and settings, so you will have to reconfigure Config.txt after installing. Note, always back up your game folder before installing VR test builds. Installation is simple. Download file and rename it as Weapon Swap Test VR Mod. Place on your desktop and extract the folder to folder name. Create a copy of your Halo game folder and name it Weapon Swap Test. Open the newly extracted folder and move all files to your Halo game folder. Overwrite and replace all files. Now place the original compressed Weapon Swap VR mod into the Halo VR mods inside backups. Enjoy! Frontways Larry is working on a multiplayer version of his Movement Evolved mod, currently in a closed beta for testing available only to his Patreon members. The mod will be available for free, of course, when it is officially released. It's the same as his campaign mod, and when multiplayer is fixed, I can see this being a lot of fun. I included this in here to spread awareness and hype it up. I'll now go over some controller binding tips and common problems, and then end the video with information about the most major upcoming releases. Hey, what's up everyone? I'm here in the cafeteria. to talk to you about controller bindings. So let's see here, jump. So jump is normally defaulted to up on the right thumbstick. This can cause a lot of accidental jumps when you're turning. So I like to rebind it to clicking in the right thumbstick. Clicking it in, it feels a lot better. And then the other controller binding I change is interact. So interact is normally B on your right controller. So if I hold B, I can pick up weapons, I can interact. But I like to set interact to held on the right grip. So when I go over a weapon, I can hold right grip and it will change it. Now, the cool thing about this is I can set right grip to press for switch weapons. So I bring it up to my holster, I press right grip to switch weapons. And then to pick up weapons or interact with buttons or anything else, I hold it. This makes it a lot more immersive. Absolutely love it. How to set these controller bindings. So bring up your Steam VR menu, or whatever controller binding menu you use really, but I use Steam VR. Go to controller bindings, and I already have this set up, but I will go to edit this binding. Or before I do that, actually let me show you. In controller bindings, choose another. There are preset controller configurations like Halo Xbox style controls, all sorts of different controller bindings that you can view and activate. If you want to set it yourself, simply go to controller bindings, edit this binding, and then you want to go to the right controller, joystick, you want to hit edit. Now north will be set as jump. You'll see jump on north. So you click that jump and you set it as none. And then you go down here to center and you click it and you select jump. So you have jump set as center and none as north. You can keep crouch as south if you want to. I have crouch set on my left joystick. So I could go ahead and actually remove this if I wanted to. I'll click none. I'll save that. Beautiful. Now grip, go to edit. So you have grip as a button. Single press is to switch weapons. And then go to held and set that to interact. There's a lot of different variations you can do with controller bindings. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Let me know if you have something special cooked up, something I don't know about, because setting these up for immersion is so cool, especially this grip to pick up weapons. But when you have this set up, you just click the check mark, and then you can save your personal binding, and you'll exit out from there. I'll just go ahead and save that since I changed it. And I'll just push start on my left controller. And there we go, we're back in the game, moving around, jumping, right, picking stuff up. That's how we do it. We do it for her, we fight for her. Ain't that right, Johnson? Where are you going? It don't matter. Well, anyways, guys, we'll continue on with the tutorial and the guide. Thank you for stopping by the cafeteria. Let's go.
If you are experiencing a slight warping effect when tilting your head in-game, Frontways Larry figured out a solution that seems to fix it. Simply open your VR folder inside the Halo game folder. Now open inject.txt and Control F search for aspect ratio. Copy the value next to aspect ratio. Now inside the VR folder, open config.txt. Look for the lines temp_viewport left and temp_viewport right, and paste your value from inject.txt as their values. Important, remember to have the left viewport as a negative number with the minus sign in front of your value. The right viewport is a positive, so there is no sign next to it. Save and exit Chimera.ini. You can experiment with adjusting the values to dial it in for yourself if you'd like to. The simple copy and paste worked enough for me. Some people might experience a lower res reticle and HUD in Refined. If you experience this effect, then you can try the following solution. Note, user JPLEFox gave this solution. Fix for low res crosshair and HUD when updating to Refined. Open up the settings config.txt file in the VR folder and change UI overlay width and height from 600 to 1200 or 1800. UI overlay width equals 1800, UI overlay height equals 1800. Save and exit config.txt. Let me know in the comments if this helps.
If you're in the main menu and you cannot interact, you can't hear any sound, and you can't interact with anything, all you simply do is you go back to your VD desktop, your virtual desktop, and what you do here is you click the Halo window. You just click it once just to make sure it's the active window. This is what it looks like if it's not clicked. You'll hear the music stop, and when you're in the menu, you cannot click anything. So, jump back to your virtual desktop and make sure Halo is the active window. So, that's how you move around the menus. You double click your menu button on your left controller to jump between virtual desktop and Steam VR. And you make sure that your Halo window is your main active window so you can interact with the menu. Okay, I'm going to show you guys how to get past the tutorial in the first level if you started on either easy or normal difficulties. So when you start the game on either easy or normal difficulties, when you wake up in your pod here, you can't look around in VR to get out of this part.
Right now. The disorientation should pass quickly.
Welcome back, sir. We'll have you battle ready stat.
Yeah. Okay, right
Chief,
here.
Please look around the room. I need to get a calibration reading for your battlesuit's diagnostics.
He wants me to look around the room, but looking around in VR don't work. Neither does looking around with my right thumbstick, moving left and right. So, one way people get past this, if you want to play this level on easy or normal, and you can't get past this tutorial, simply go over to your mouse at your computer and wiggle it. I'm going to attempt that now in real time.
Good. Thank you,
There
sir.
we go.
I'm bringing your health monitors online, sir.
Vital signs look normal. No freezer burn. Okay, sir. Go ahead and climb out of the cryo tube.
So E would be whatever your interact button is assigned to. Default is B on the right thumbstick, but I also have mine as B and grip.
I gave you a double dose of the wake-up stim. Take a quick walk around the cryo bay and join me at the optical diagnostic station when you're ready.
We're going to make sure that we can move past this part as well.
I know the ordnance techs usually take care of your targeting sensors, but we're short of time, Chief. Just look at each of the flashing panels to target them. When you lock on, it'll change color. Okay, that looks good.
Sir, I'm getting some calibration errors. I'm going to invert your looking pitch, so you can see if you like it better that way. Try targeting the flashing lights again. Is that better, or should I switch it back?
Just leave it like it is.
I'll leave the pitch inverted, but if you want, you can change it yourself later. I'm ready for the energy shield.
I don't think
now.
the inverted
Please follow me to the energy shield
actually
destination.
changes anything in VR for you, so you're fine to just leave it like that after you get past that part. And that's it. You'll do the shield, and then you'll continue on. Now, there's another way to get past
Stand on the
this,
yellow square. This will just take a second.
which would be that you can boot the game into flat screen. I'll show how to do that, but you can boot the game into flat screen, load the level on easy or normal, complete the tutorial in flat screen. Whenever you reach a checkpoint after completing this, just save and exit at that checkpoint, and then boot the game back into VR and load the checkpoint, and you'll be at that checkpoint in VR on easy or normal past the tutorial. Another way to get past this tutorial, one that I just recommend, is just play this level on heroic. It skips the tutorial, and then plus you can play the level with grenades from the very beginning, right from the cafeteria. You got grenades in your pocket, and heroic isn't too difficult on this first level. So that is another third way to get past the tutorial. But I hope this helps y'all, and yeah, I appreciate you. Let's get back into some more of the guide. Let's go.
Okay, bring his energy shields online, please.
If you ever need to boot into flat screen, simply open up your Halo game folder and rename d3d9.dll to d3d9aa.dll. This will allow you to boot into flat screen. Rename it back to d3d9.dll to boot into VR. In-game currently, when you are in a Pelican, the camera likes to spaz. The only way I can get this to stop is by looking down in the right spot or closing my eyes. It's something that will hopefully get fixed in the future, but for now we just have to accept it. If you know anything else that could help alleviate this effect, please let me know down in the comments. It's hard to aim with vehicles like the Ghost, Banshee, Scorpion, etc. in VR. The Ghost does not collide with enemies when the player is driving it. The screen will shake and the camera will zoom towards your character when hopping out of a vehicle. This could be disorientating for some people. In some campaigns, you'll be able to select dialogue options and more. The on-screen prompt will say press E or Z to select between options. E is whatever you have interact bound to. Z is whatever you have zoom scope bound to.
It's quiet. Too quiet. Twist both my ankles as soon as I jump out. Okay, so this beginning part, when you download the mod, it's this beginning part, the controls are all drunk. If you get to play it, you'll know what I mean, but what you do is you just make your way forward to the cliff like this. I'm holding right to walk forward. That's what's going on. Ah, we made it. Nice. They added animals or giant bugs. Pretty cool. Hey, buddy.
This mod was designed to be played in third person. There is a launcher to play it in third person, but I didn't test this feature in VR. Since the mod was designed to be played in third person, the player's character will perform animations during certain actions. So if you throw a grenade, you'll be locked in place for a second as the player performs the action. There is also no diagonal movement, only forward, back, left, and right. I didn't dive into seeing if this can be fixed, so it's possible there might be a way to add it back in. When you take damage, you'll perform the Marine's animation of getting hit. This can stun lock you. I don't mind this as I think it can add a level of tactical play that requires the player to utilize cover and think about how they will approach a battle. There is no melee attack. I don't know if this can be fixed, but overall I don't mind its absence. I still enjoyed the gameplay. It's recommended to skip the first cutscene in Pillar of Autumn right after the scene switches from Sergeant Johnson to the Cryo Bay. For some reason, if it's not skipped, you will spawn out of boundaries. It's pretty cool seeing the Marine in cutscenes in place of the Chief. Lastly, it's recommended to not play on easy or normal difficulties as this can crash the game. I tested this mod out on easy and normal and did not experience any crashes, but I can't guarantee that will be your experience. Overall, I think this is a new and tactical fun way to play and experience Halo VR.
Don't let them lock the doors.
A few select weapons are invisible in your hand. All weapons, unfortunately, are invisible in your hand. This mod is still beautiful, however, and fun to play. First-person Warthogs is experimental and hard to control. It's included in the mod just for fun. Passenger seat is first-person driving, and driver's seat is third-person, plus turret control, if no Marine is manning the turret. When wall jumping, you will jump towards the direction of the angle of the surface you are on. So if you are sideways on a wall and jump, you will jump sideways off the wall. Experience will vary from level to level. There will be some missing weapon textures like other mods, but also plenty of working textures too. One or two of the extra levels might not work with Refined loaded as your main campaign. If it happens, then you'll know by extremely apparent visual and audio bugs. The footage used for this example is from when the refined Bitmaps and Sounds .map files was mixed into Movement Evolved. If this happens when Refined is the main campaign, just switch to any other campaign to use the OG Bitmaps and Sounds .map files needed if it happens with any of the missions, firefights, or multiplayer maps. The biggest thing broken in multiplayer is aiming. You fire in the direction you are looking, not where you aim your weapon. It's based on where you look, so you can just point the gun at the ground and look around and shoot. The scope on weapons do not work. And the scope doesn't work, but that's okay. If you hop into a vehicle, it will spaz out until you hop out. Just jumping here. Oh, I was wigging out. So when you jump in vehicles, they do this, and yeah. Moving diagonally is either non-existent or extremely difficult. The last major thing would be mods. If you don't have the same mods as another player, you'll both be able to use your mods, but the other player won't be able to see a mod they don't have installed. I played a few matches and had a wonky but good time. The aiming is bearable and I got used to it after a little bit. If you insist on playing multiplayer now, be prepared for the jank, but you can still have a good time. And you can make the shotguns fun. That's fun. Love it. Ah, get you some. Oh, you're not prepared for this. I'm not prepared for this. I definitely enjoyed walking around various multiplayer levels, just admiring them in VR. This is nice just being here.
Like, honestly, like, a good part of the multiplayer right now is just exploring your favorite multiplayer maps in Halo in VR. It's not real playable yet, but you can, it's fun. It's fun to see the level in VR. I want my rocket launcher back. I want my rocket launcher back. Oh, I got a shotgun now. That is pretty beefy.
Blue team has the flag.
You ain't got nothing. Classic. Classic. Oh, classic. I love it. Where is he gonna attack from?
Blue team has the flag.
What?
Red
What
team,
team
flag return.
Blue team has what flag? What? If there's anything I missed, please let me know and I'll make a list in the pinned comments. And now, for the hype. The mod is currently in beta testing and isn't public. When it officially releases, it will be on Living Fray's GitHub page. I'll have an install tutorial video when it drops, so be ready. This is a huge update to Halo VR, allowing it to work with Custom Edition and OpenSauce. This opens up the doors to a vast number of mods that require OpenSauce, which includes Operation Takedown, Extermination. This could also possibly lead into Halo VR co-op and more. A welcomed user-friendly feature that will be added in this update is the ability to change VR settings in-game. And because of this upcoming mod, we have another special surprise. That's right, SPV3, but in glorious VR. If you don't know what SPV3 is, let me explain it. Single Player Version 3, better known as SPV3, is a sophisticated, large-scale mod of Halo Custom Edition that mainly features a revamped version of Halo Combat Evolved's main campaign, including terminals, new weapons, vehicles and enemies, additional sections of levels, vastly improved graphics, and more. The SPV3 dev team is currently working hard to update SPV3 for VR. All footage you are seeing is from me playing the beta and does not represent the final version. I'll have tutorials and guides when it officially releases. This one is worth waiting for. Get hyped! Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll be rolling the special credits soon, so please stick around to see it. If you want to help support me, simply drop a like, leave a comment, and hit subscribe. Everyone who does so will help raise the 7th pillar once again. Well, bye-bye!